Dear students, welcome to the YouTube channel Mathematics Student Helper. In the present video, the topic is divisibility in ring part 3. Here I discuss some theorems on GCD. Mainly, you know that GCD of AB can be written as in the form AU plus BB, where AB are in R, where R is the principal ideal domain. I proved the theorem and some another theorem also, and then I give the definition of LCM with some theorems. And at last I give relation between GCD and LCM in a principal ideal domain. After watching, if you understand my video, please like it, otherwise dislike. Please share it with your friends. If channel is not till subscribe, please subscribe it. Now I will go in a theorem. In a principal ideal domain R, any two non-zero element AB have GCD, and if GCD B GCD if D with the GCD, then D can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UV in R. You know that GCD of any two non-zero elements always does not exist, but in a principal ideal domain GCD must exist. Okay, if and D can be expressed as GCD can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UV in R. Now I will go in proof. Given that AB are two non-zero element in the principal ideal domain R. Okay, let us consider the set A equal to RA plus AB, where R is in R, something into A plus something into B, where the something that is R and S R belongs to R. This is the set A. Clearly A is non-empty, because you see that if you put R and S is equal to 0, 0 is the zero element in the ring, therefore 0 dot A plus 0 dot B will be 0, therefore 0 belongs to A. Clearly 0 equal to 0 dot A plus 0 dot B belongs to A, therefore A is a non-empty subset of R. Now I wish to prove A is a ideal. We will show that A is a ideal of R. You know that the conditions for which a non-empty set of R form ideal, there are two conditions. If these conditions are satisfied, then you can conclude that A is the ideal of R. The first condition is you have to take two elements x, y from A, and then you have to show that x minus y belongs to A, and then you have to take second condition, you have to take one element from A and another element from the ring, and then you have to show that multiplication of that two elements, that is one element in A and other element from R, must belong to A. Then you can conclude that A is the ideal of R. Okay, however, I will show that A is ideal. For that purpose, we consider two elements. Let x equal to R1A plus S1B and y equal to R2A plus S2B are two elements in A. Clearly, R1, R2, S1, S2 are two elements in R. Now x minus y equal to, you see that x minus y equal to R1 minus R2 of A plus S1 minus S2 of B. This belongs to A because R1 minus, this is element of R, this is also element of R, because you see that R1, R2 are elements of R. Since R plus is a commutative ring, therefore R1 composed R2 inverse, that is R1 plus of minus R2, that is R1 minus R2 must belong to R. Similarly S1 minus S2 must belong to R. Okay, therefore x minus y equal to something A plus something B, therefore this is in A. So for any two elements x and y, x minus y is in A. Okay, this is the first condition of ideal. Now I will go in second example. For that purpose, we consider two elements. Here we consider small r in capital R and small a and in capital X. Now we calculate x dot r or r dot x. Okay, therefore r dot x means, here r dot x means that is r of that is r of r1a. R of r1a means r of r1a of A, and R of S1B means R of R S1 of B. This holds because multiplication is associative. Okay, just here RR1A, here RR1 into A, here R of S1B, here RS1 of B, due to associative property of multiplication. Okay, so we see that R dot x equal to something A plus something B. RR1, R and R1 are elements of capital R, therefore multiplication of that two element must be in R. Therefore, R dot x equal to something A plus something B. Some things are in R, so you can conclude that R dot x in capital A, since RR1, RS1 are in S. Again, you see that the multiplication is commutative because we know that integral domain is a commutative ring with unity. So since R dot x in A, therefore x dot R must be in A. Since R is commutative, R dot x in A implies that x dot R in A. So we see that for every elements R in capital R and small x in capital A, R dot x and x dot R are in capital A. So from 1 and 2, 1 was if xy belongs to n, then x minus y belongs to a. This was 1 and this is 2. From 1 and 2 we can conclude that capital A is ideal of R. Here capital R is principal ideal domain. You know the definition of principal ideal domain. In a principal ideal domain, every ideal is principal ideal. So since here A is a ideal in R, therefore A will be principal ideal. Since R is a principal ideal domain, capital A is a principal ideal in R. Since it is a principal ideal, it will be generated by some elements. Suppose let principal ideal capital A is generated by D. Now our target is to show that D is the GCD of AB. That is A is generated by D. You know that D means P into D, such that P belongs to R. P belongs to R. Here we take A is generated by D. Okay. Now our aim is to prove D equal to GCD of AB. Now you see that A equal to A can be expressed at A dot 1 plus A dot B. Therefore this must belongs to A because we consider A as A is AU plus B was something into A plus something into B. Here 1 dot A plus 0 dot B, therefore it must belongs to A, and similarly B equal to something into A plus something into B, therefore B is in A. Okay, so since AB belongs to A, therefore you see that AB belongs to A. Actually A belongs to capital D generated by small d, means A can be expressed as something into D. Again B is in the principal domain generated by D, therefore B can be expressed as B equal to something into D. Here alpha beta are some things, these are belongs to R, elements of R. Okay, now alpha belongs to alpha equal to alpha D implies that D divides A, because A equal to D into something, therefore D divides A. Similarly B equal to beta D means D divides B. So you see that D is a common divisor of A and B. Again, since A is principal ideal generated by D and D belongs, therefore D must belongs to A. Okay, therefore D can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UB in R. Okay, you know the definition of A. We define A as AX plus BI or AU plus AR plus BS in that form, RA plus SB, something A plus something B. We write this form. Okay, now our target is to prove D is a greatest common divisor. At first we show that D is a common divisor, and then we will show that D is the greatest common divisor. For that purpose we have to take another common divisor. Let C be a non-zero element in R such that C divides A and C divides B, that is C is a common divisor of A and B. Now D will be greatest common divisor if D is greatest, that is if C divides D, then we can conclude that D is the greatest common divisor. Therefore C divides A plus BB, we know that if C divides A and C divides B, then C divides A plus BB, that is C divides A. So we see that here you see that D divides A and D divides B, therefore D is a common divisor of A and B. And here you see that for any common divisor, that is C is a common divisor of A and B, for any common divisor C divides D, therefore D is the greatest common divisor. Okay, thus we see that D divides A and D divides B, and then we see that if C is a common divisor of A and B, then C divides D, therefore D is the common divisor of AB, GCD of AB, and D equal to AU plus BB for some UB in R. Okay, I hope that you understand the theorem. The theorem is that in a principal ideal domain, any two non-zero elements have GCD, and GCD can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UB in R. Now, there are same theorem on Euclidean domain. In a Euclidean domain, any two non-zero elements AB have GCD, and if D be GCD, then D can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UB in R. This proof is same as the previous theorem because you know that every Euclidean domain is principal domain. Please see the video related Euclidean domain which is in my channel. There I prove Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain. So when this theorem is given, so you have to convert that theorem to that theorem because every Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain. Then proceed as previous. Okay. So GCD of AB exists in a principal ideal domain and it can be expressed in the form AU plus BB for some UB in R. I hope that you understand the video. Now we will go least common multiple, that is LCM, least common multiple. At first I give the definition of LCM and then I will give some examples and theorems. Let R be a commutative ring with unity and A be two non-zero elements in D. A non-zero element L in D is said to be least common multiple if A and B of A and B if A divides L and B divides L. Actually this means L is a common multiple. A divides L means L is a multiple, B divides L means L is a multiple. So from that relation you can conclude that L is a common multiple. Now L will be least if M be a common divisor. Suppose M is a common divisor of a common multiple of AB. Here you see that M belongs to D such that A divides M and B divides M, that is M is a multiple of A as well as M. Then L must divides M. Okay. So from that condition you can conclude that L is a least and there is a common multiple. So combining that two conditions you can conclude that L is a least common multiple of A and B. Okay. Least common multiple of A and B is denoted by LCM of AB or simply AB in third bracket. There is some note. In a integral domain, any two LCM of two elements are associates. That is, LCM of two elements may or may not exist. If they exist, two LCMs must be associate. Okay. Next we will show that the proof of the theorem. The statement of the theorem is in any integral domain with unity, any two LCMs of two elements, if they exist, are associates. Okay, so you have to consider a integral domain. Let D be a integral domain. Therefore, D is a commutative ring with unity. Let AB be two non-zero elements in R. R means here D. Let L1, L2 are two values of LCM of AB. Okay, here we consider L1, L2 are two LCM of AB, so you have to show that L1 and L2 are associates. LCM of AB equal to L1 implies that A divides L1 and B divides L2. Because you show that LCM means common multiple, therefore from first condition you can conclude that L1 is a multiple of A as well as L1 is a multiple of B. So from first condition L1 is a common multiple of A and B. Similarly, LCM of AB equal to L2 implies that A divides L2 and B divides L2. Now A divides L1, B divides L1 and LCM of AB equal to L2. I write down that condition A divides L1 and B divides L1, that is L1 is a common multiple. Again LCM of AB means L2 is least common multiple. Here L1 is a common multiple and here L2 is a least common multiple. Since L2 is least, then from second condition of LCM, L2 must divides L1. Similarly, I write that relation, that is A divides L2 and B divides L2 and LCM of AB equal to L1. A divides L2, B divides L2 and LCM of AB equal to L1 must imply that, because you show that L1, L2 are common multiples and L1 is least common multiple. L2 is common multiple and L1 is least common multiple. Therefore, L2 must divide L1. Okay, so we show that in an integral domain L1 divides L2 and L2 divides L1. Therefore, L1, L2 are associates. This theorem is proved in part 2. There I proved that two associates AB are associates if and only if A divides B and B divides A in an integral domain. So here you see that in the integral domain D or R, here L1 divides L2 as well as L2 divides L1. Therefore, L1, L2 must be associate. Thus, in the integral domain L1, L2 are two non-zero elements such that L1 divides L2 and L2 divides L1. So we can conclude that L1 divides L2 and L2 divides L1. Sorry, here you see that L2 divides L1 and L1 divides L2. So thus in the integral domain these two elements are such that one divides another. Therefore we can conclude that they are associates, because in the integral domain two elements are associates if and only if they divides one another. Okay, I hope that you understand the theorem. Now we prove the converse part. Converse part means actually here I prove two LCMs are associates. Now we prove if L1 is a LCM, then its associate must be LCM. Conversely, let L1 be LCM of AB and L2 is associates of L1. Then L2 divides L1 and L1 divides L2, because we know that in an integral domain two elements AB are associates if and only if A divides B and B divides A. Since here L2 L1 or L2 is associates with L1, therefore L1 divides L2 as well as L2 divides L1. L1 equal to LCM of AB implies that A divides L1 and B divides L2, because L1 is a common multiple of A and B. Again, A divides L1, B divides L1 and L1 divides L2. Here you see that here this is L1 divides L2. Okay, A divides L1 and L1 divides L2 implies that A divides L2, A divides L1 and L1 divides L2 implies that A divides L2. Similarly, B divides L1 and L1 divides L2 implies that B divides L2. A divides L2 and B divides L2. That is, L2 is a common multiple of A and B. Now we have to show that L2 is least common multiple. For this purpose, we consider M is another common multiple. Let M belongs to D such that A divides M and B divides M. That is, M is a common multiple of A and B. Since we will to show that L2 is a common multiple, least common multiple, so we have to prove that L2 divides M. Okay. Now L1 divides M. Since L1 is LCM of AB, you know that here from that line you can conclude that M is a common multiple, and L1, what is this? LCM. LCM means least common multiple. Here M is common multiple, L1 is least common multiple, therefore L1 divides M. Okay, now L1 divides M and L2 divides L1 implies that L2 divides L1, again L1 divides M. A divides B, B divides C, therefore A divides C. Okay, so L2 divides L1, L1 divides M, therefore L2 divides M. So thus we show that A divides M and B divides M implies that L2 divides M. Okay, so we show that here L2 is a common multiple of A, and for any common multiple of AB, here L2 is a common multiple of A and B, and here for any common multiple, that is M, for any common multiple M, L2 divides M. Therefore L2 is a common multiple of AB. Therefore L2 is LCM of AB. Hence the theorem is proved, that is LCM of LCM of AB is L1, and if L2 is associate of L1, then L2 is also a LCM of AB. Okay. Now there is another theorem. Any two non-zero elements AB in a principal ideal domain have least common multiple. This theorem is same as greatest common divisor. You see that in a principal ideal domain GCD of two elements always exist, and if D be a GCD of AB, then D can be expressed as AU plus BB for some UV in the set, in the ring, or in the principal ideal domain. This theorem is same. This says that in a principal ideal domain LCM of two elements always exist. Now we will go in proof. Here proof, let R be a principal ideal domain and AB be two non-zero elements in R. Let capital A is a principal ideal domain generated by A and capital B is a principal ideal domain generated by B. Capital A is a principal ideal generated by A. Capital B is a principal ideal generated by B. Okay. Since AB are ideal, therefore their interaction will be ideal. Then AB is also an ideal. Again, R is a principal ideal domain. Principal ideal domain means a integral domain is said to be principal ideal domain if every ideal is principal ideal. So here R the principal ideal domain capital R, and A intersection B is ideal in R. Therefore, A intersection B is also principal ideal. Since capital R is principal ideal domain, A intersection B is also principal ideal domain. Let A intersection B is generated by small l. Okay, now our target is to prove L is a LCM of AB. We wish to show that L is a LCM of AB. Now L belongs to L. L belongs to L means ideal, principal ideal generated by L. Now L belongs to L implies that L belongs to generated by A, small a, because actually principal ideal generated by L is A intersection B. Principal ideal generated by A is small a. Since A intersection B is subset of A, therefore L belongs to A intersection B implies that L belongs to A. This is A intersection B and this is A. Okay. Since L belongs to principal ideal generated by A, therefore L can be expressed as A into something. Therefore L into AU for some U in R. Okay. Similarly, L belongs to L implies that L belongs to capital B because A intersection B subset of B. So here L is AU means L equal to A into something, so A divides L, that is L is a multiple of L. Now we will show L is a multiple of B also. For that purpose we use the relation A intersection B subset of B. Therefore L intersection A intersection B implies that L intersection B, that is L intersection principal ideal generated by A, implies that L belongs to principal ideal generated by B. L belongs to principal ideal generated by L implies that L belongs to principal ideal generated by B, since A intersection B subset of B. Here this is principal ideal generated by L and this is generated by B. Since this is subset of B, every element of A intersection B, for example L, must belong to capital B. Since L belongs to principal ideal generated by B, therefore L can be expressed as B into something, say B into B for some B in R. So here L equal to B into something, that is B divides L. B divides L. So from that relations we can conclude that L is a common multiple of A and B. Okay. Therefore L is a common multiple of A and B. Now we have to show that L is the least common multiple. For that purpose, let M be any other common multiple of A and B, that is A divides M and B divides M. Now A divides M implies that M equal to A into something, say M equal to A into alpha, and B divides M means M equal to B into something. M equal to B into something for some alpha beta in R. Now M equal to A alpha implies that M belongs to principal ideal generated by A, because you know that principal ideal generated by A is of the form A into something for A into R, where R in R. So M belongs to capital A. Similarly, small m belongs to B beta means M belongs to principal ideal generated by B, that is M belongs to B. So here M belongs to A as well as M belongs to B. So you can conclude that M belongs to A intersection B, that is belongs to principal ideal generated by L. So M can be expressed as L into something, L into K for some K in R. That means L divides M. That means L divides M. L divides M. Therefore L is least. So we see that A divides L and B divides L, that is M is a common multiple, and for any other common multiple M, L divides M. Therefore L is the least. From the definition of least common multiple, we can conclude that L is the least common multiple of A and B. Okay, hence the theorem is proved. Now we'll go some problem. This is very important problem. This is relation between greatest common divisor and least common multiple. Let AB be two non-zero elements in a principal ideal domain. Show that GCD of AB into LCM of AB equal to AB into U for some unit U in R. This theorem is same as the GCD and LCM of integer, that is product of GCD and LCM is the product of two elements. Now we will go and prove. Solution. Since capital R is principal ideal domain, GCD and LCM exist. You know that. In that video I prove it. GCD and LCM exist in a principal ideal domain. Let D is the GCD and L is the LCM of two elements AB. We will to show that DL divides AB and AB divides DL. Because you show that you have to prove that actually here GCD of AB is DL and LCM of AB is L. Therefore you have to prove that DL equal to ABU for some unit. That is, we have to prove that DL and AB are associates. DL equal to AB into U, that is, we have to prove that DL is associated with AB. Okay. Now we know that in a principal ideal domain, two element associates if and only if they divides each another. So here since DL and AB are associates, therefore we have to prove that DL divides AB as well as AB divides DL. Okay. At first we will prove DL divides AB. LCM of AB equal to L implies that A divides L and B divides L because L is a common multiple. Now A divides L implies that L equal to A into something. Here say P. A divides L means L into A into P. And B divides L means L equal to B into something, B into Q. Okay. From definition of divisor I can write it. Now we have to prove that DL equal to AB into something. Again GCD of AB equal to D, GCD of AB equal to D implies that D equal to lambda A plus mu B for some lambda mu in R. You know it because in a principal ideal domain GCD of AB always exists and it can be expressed as AU plus BB for some integer UB, for some units for some elements UB in R. So here D can be expressed as D lambda A plus lambda B for some lambda mu in R. Okay. So we get that relation L equal to AP and L equal to BQ. Now we have to prove that AB divides DL, so we have to prove that DL equal to AB into something. For that purpose we multiply L in both sides. Therefore DL equal to lambda A into plus mu B into L. So this is lambda AL plus mu BL. Okay. Now our target, we have to write this is of the form AB into something. For that purpose we put here L equal to BQ. Here you have to put L equal to BQ and here you have to put L equal to AP. Then you can take common AB from that relation. So DL equal to, now here I put L equal to BQ and here I put mu B into L, L means AP. So you can take common AB from that relation. Therefore this will be AB into lambda Q plus mu P. So AB divides DL. This shows that AB divides DL. Take the equation as 1. Now we have to prove that DL divides AB also. Again GCD of AB equal to D implies that D divides A and D divides B because D is a common divisor, greatest common divisor. For that purpose D is a common divisor. D divides A and D divides B. Again D divides A implies that A equal to D into something, say D and into alpha, where alpha is element in the set R, in the ring R. Again D divides B implies that B equal to D beta for some alpha beta in R. Okay. Therefore AB equal to D alpha into D beta, that is D into D alpha beta. Actually here I interchange the place of alpha and D. You can interchange because the ring is commutative, and also here I use associative property. So AB equal to D into something. Now our target, we have to prove that AB equal to DL into something. Okay. Remember the equation 2. I will use that equation later. Now A equal to D alpha imply and D alpha divides D alpha beta, because you show that D alpha beta means D alpha into something. D alpha beta means D alpha into beta. So D alpha divides D alpha beta. Again his D alpha is A. Therefore A divides D alpha beta. And B equal to D beta. Again D beta divides D alpha beta. D alpha beta means D beta into alpha. So B divides D alpha beta. So D alpha beta is a multiple of A and D alpha beta is a multiple of B. So D alpha beta is a common multiple of A and B. Common multiple of A and B. But we know that L is the least common multiple of AB. L is the least common multiple of AB and D alpha beta is a common multiple. Since L is least, therefore L divides D alpha beta. Since L is least count multiple of AB, L divides D alpha beta. That means D alpha beta equal to L into something, say L into K. You remember the equation 2, AB equal to D into D alpha beta. So we put here AB equal to D into D alpha beta. D alpha beta means LK, so you have to prove here LK. Therefore AB equal to, from 2 AB equal to D into LK. LK means, implies that LK means DL into K, so DL divides AB. So in equation 2 we see that AB divides DL, and here you see that DL divides AB. Thus from 1 and 2 we have AB divides DL and DL divides AB. Since AB DL are all elements in the integral domain, so we can conclude that since R is a integral domain, AB DL in R, therefore AB DL are associates. Okay, so we get from the definition of associates, DL equal to AB into some unit. There exists unit U in R such that DL equal to AB U. Okay, here D is GCD, L is LCM, A dot B into some unit. So GCD of AB into LCM of AB equal to AB into U. Hence the theorem is proved, because GCD into LCM equal to product multiplication of two elements into some multiplication of some unit. Hence the theorem is proved. I hope that you understand the theorem. Okay, thank you. Please see the another videos.